Hello everyone, it's me Maimoona AIwali. I am a student at Rehan College, Korangi Campus. Now today I am talking to ChatGPT, so let's go. Hello ChatGPT.
Hey, great to have you here. What can I help you with today?
My name is Maimoona AIwali. Now today I am discuss about overcoming procrastination.
Absolutely. That's a really common struggle, so I'm glad you're focusing on it. What aspect of procrastination do you want to dig into? Like causes, strategies to overcome it, or maybe some practical tips?
Okay, now my first question is, what is procrastination?
That's a great starting point. So, procrastination is basically when you delay or put off doing tasks, even though you know you should be doing them. Often it's kind of a cycle. People feel anxious about a task, so they avoid it, but that just increases their stress. It's really common and it can affect all kinds of areas work, school, or even personal goals.
Why do people procrastination?
Exactly. And what's interesting is that it's not really about being lazy. It's often more about emotions like fear of failure, perfectionism, or even just feeling overwhelmed. So it helps to break tasks down or find small steps to get started. Are you thinking about applying that to a specific area?
Okay, now my third question is, how does procrastination affect daily life?
Yeah, that's a really good one. So, procrastination can have a big impact. It might cause you to miss deadlines, create a lot of last minute stress, and lower your overall productivity. Plus, it can affect your mental health. Like, you might feel guilty, frustrated, or even less confident in yourself over time. So, it really can ripple through daily life.
Is procrastination a bad?
Procrastination एक बुरी आदत इसलिए है क्योंकि ये हमारे Hey again. I'm right here. If you'd like to continue, just let me know what you'd like to talk about or if you'd like me to keep going with the procrastination topic.
Okay, now my question is procrastination a bad habit? Why?
Yeah, it is considered a bad habit because it keeps us from being productive, creates unnecessary stress, and often makes us can become a cycle. Breaking that habit is really important for staying on track.
Okay, what are the common reasons for procrastination?
That's a really important question. Common reasons include things like fear of failure, perfectionism, feeling overwhelmed by a big task, lack of motivation, or even just poor time management skills. Sometimes people also procrastinate because they're waiting for the perfect moment or just out of habit.
Okay, how does procrastination affect a student?
Yeah, absolutely. For students, procrastination can really derail their academic progress. They might miss deadlines, cram at the last minute, or feel constant anxiety. In the long run, it can lower their grades, reduce their confidence, and just make the whole learning process more stressful.
How does procrastination affect work performance?
Yeah, it definitely does. In the workplace, procrastination can line efficiency and even your chances for promotion or growth. So it really spreads through professional life too.
Okay, how does procrastination affect work performance?
Exactly. So when we procrastinate at work, it often leads to rushed outcomes, mistakes, or even more overtime later on. It also tends to lower overall morale, both for us and for the team, because it creates avoidable stress and delays. So it really does drive down performance.
What feeling cause procrastination?
Yeah, a lot of emotions can be triggers. For example, fear of failure, anxiety, or even a lack of confidence can make people put things off. Sometimes people also just feel bored or unmotivated, and that makes them avoid tasks. So it's often an emotional response, not just laziness.
Okay. Can fear cause procrastination?
Yeah, absolutely. Fear is a huge driver. People often worry about failing or not doing a task perfectly, so they delay it to avoid that discomfort. Ironically, that fear of failure is what often leads to the failure they were trying to avoid, because the task just gets harder when delayed.
Okay. What are the signs of procrastination?
Yeah, so some signs are things like repeatedly putting off tasks, feeling a constant sense of guilt or anxiety about unfinished work, or even just finding yourself distracted by little things like scrolling on your phone. Often there's a pattern of starting tasks but never finishing them.
Okay. How does procrastination waste time?
Yeah, it really does waste a lot of time. Instead of getting a task done early, you end up spending hours thinking about it, worrying, or doing other less important things. So even though it feels like a short term relief, in the long run, it steals precious time from what really needs to get done.
Okay. How can making a schedule help reduce procrastination? Please give me the long answer.
Yeah, absolutely. So making a schedule is really powerful because it gives you a clear plan and a sense of structure. When you allocate specific time slots, projects into smaller, manageable pieces so you don't feel overwhelmed. As you stick to your schedule, you build momentum, and the sense of accountability helps you stay on track. So over time, that reduces procrastination because you know exactly what you should be doing and when.
Okay, ChatGPT, why is time management important? Okay, ChatGPT, why is time management important?
That's a great question. Time management is important because it helps you prioritize tasks stay organized, and make the most out of your day. When you manage your time, you focus to the things that matter most, which ultimately leads to better productivity and balance.
How can setting a small goal help stop procrastination?
Yeah, setting small goals is really effective because it makes big tasks feel less overwhelming. When you break something down into small, achievable steps, each one gives you a quick win, which builds momentum. Plus, you have a clear direction, so you're less likely to avoid starting since the steps feel manageable and doable.
Okay, what role does motivation play in overcoming procrastination? Please give me the long answer.
Of course, motivation plays a really central role in overcoming procrastination because it's the driving force that pushes us to get started and keep going, even when a task feels difficult. When we're motivated, we connect to the bigger purpose or reward behind the task, so we're more likely to take that first step. Without motivation, it's easy to fall into avoidance or delay. So, by cultivating intrinsic motivation, like connecting to your values, setting meaningful goals, or celebrating small wins,
How can breaking tasks?
you build a strong foundation that keeps you moving forward, even when the task is.
Okay, how can breaking tasks into small
Good
steps
point.
help?
So, breaking down tasks. Got it. So, breaking tasks into smaller steps makes them feel a lot more manageable. Instead of seeing one huge, daunting project, you can focus on just the next small action. This reduces the feeling of overwhelm and makes it easier to get started since each step feels quick and achievable. Plus, once you complete those small steps, you build momentum, which keeps you going.
Why is starting a task the hardest part?
Yeah, that's a really common challenge. Starting is often the hardest part because of that initial resistance. Our brains are wired to avoid discomfort or uncertainty. Once we push past that first few minutes, though, we start building momentum and the task begins to feel easier. So just getting over that initial hump is often the key.
How can reward help reduce procrastination?
That's a great strategy. When you give yourself a small reward after completing a task or a step, it creates a positive association with progress. That immediate gratification helps keep you motivated. So even if the task is tough, you have something to look forward to once you get through it.
Okay, how can reward help reduce procrastination?
Yeah, so rewards really work because they give you a little burst of positive reinforcement. When you know you'll get a treat, like a break, a small snack, or some fun activity right after completing a step, it reduces the mental resistance. So you start to associate task completion with a positive payoff, which makes it easier to take action and avoid putting things off.
How does procrastination increase stress?
Yeah, procrastination really amplifies stress because the longer you delay, the more tasks pile up and deadlines loom closer. This creates a constant background anxiety, knowing you should be working but not doing it. And that stress can also disrupt sleep, concentration, and overall well being. So it really snowballs.
Okay, what are the some simple way to stay focused?
Yeah, definitely. Some simple ways include setting a clear daily plan, breaking tasks down into small steps, using timers like the Pomodoro technique, and minimizing distractions like silencing your phone. Also, celebrating small wins and rewarding yourself can also keep you motivated and on track.
Okay, so thank you, ChatGPT, and Allah Hafiz.
You're very welcome. I'm really glad I could help. Take care and Allah Hafiz.